Good day, everyone. Today's stories come from I The Butthole subreddit, where we can help people on the internet judge themselves. Now, let's get orgasm with rKush. Our first story today was posted by Organic Mouse 282 with the title Am I the Butthole for telling my mom I'm not an aunt and not going to pretend just for her? My mom married my stepdad when I, 20 female, was 7 and my stepsister was 6. You might think after all these years we would be good, but nope. She was such a freaking nightmare to deal with, and it only got worse after her dad took custody of her from her mom when she was 13. It wasn't just me either. She smashed up the collection of photos my mom had of my uncle, her brother who died when they were kids, and she made sure those photos could not be salvaged. She broke something valuable that her grandma, my stepdad's mom, owned. As for me, she would spit in my pillow so I couldn't sleep on it. She would tell me to give her stuff, so when I got a phone, she demanded I give it to her. If I was eating a chocolate bar, she demanded it. Her dad, at one point, had her in therapy 3 times a week, and he would punish the hell out of her for stuff like spitting and breaking stuff. One time when we were 15 and 16, we both got in trouble because she tore the photo I had in my bedroom of my dad and grandparents, and she smudged fruit stains all over the fragments left, and I lost it. I told her she's freaking sucked, and I was so glad she was not my real sister because I would never want to be family with someone as unlovable as her. That I never disliked anyone as much, and my life was so much better without her in it. After that, things were very different. My mom said she understood that I was upset, but that I should never say such cruel things to someone. She encouraged me to apologize and say I hadn't meant those things, but I had. My stepdad and I had gotten along okay up to that point, but me saying his daughter was unlovable and that I wish she had never been in my life was a step too much for him. And I get it. We pretty much coexisted after that. Had therapy and all that, but I think my mom was the only one truly all in at first, and then my stepdad eventually. But my stepsister and I were not interested in repairing things. For me, they were just never good to begin with. Now I live with some friends and live pretty far from my mom. My stepsister recently moved back in with them after she had a baby, and my mom has tried to convince me that this is the perfect time to put the past in the past and move forward. She has brought up my being an aunt many times before, and I know she's telling the truth that my stepsister is ready for it too, because she sent me a video via my mom's Facebook saying that she had forgiven me for what I said and was ready to move forward. I got pretty tired of my mom trying and calling me an aunt, so I told her I wasn't an aunt. I told her I have no siblings and so I cannot be an aunt. She told me it was childish to say that when everybody else is ready to move on from all that. I told her I was not, that I'd never grown to care about my stepsister and did not want to be in her life or to have her in mine, and her child was an extension of that. She's mad at me for saying that and my stubborn stance. Am I a butthole? Well, people tend to not want to admit when they did something wrong. Even if the stepsister in the story is better now and knows she was an a-hole, which may not be the case, I still think it's gonna take a lot for her not to be stubborn and admit it. And this family feud will not go away until she does. Now to the second story. This is from a non-native speaker. Am I the butthole for deleting a video and maybe ruining her career? I, female 20, have picked up a few skills over the lockdown since there was a lot of staying at home. One of the skills is video editing, like After Effects and Premiere. I had a fair share of hours learning and improving these things and learning from tutorials. While a friend of mine heard that I edit, saw a few of my fandom edits, liked them, and wanted me to edit a music video she made. She wanted to send it to one of those music companies and release it. The video was around 3 minutes and 20 seconds long and mostly done outside, so I knew I'd have a lot of work correcting everything so it looks pretty. She told me she wanted it done like a fandom edit. I agree since I cut videos for friends a lot. Well, in the middle, I realized it was way more work than I expected. I think even the first 20 seconds took me about 4 to 5 hours or so. So at some point I asked her for pay, like €4 an hour since I'm not a professional, and I was still a lot on the side. She said no, she doesn't have any money. I felt the no money part and told her she doesn't have to worry. Well, at some point, I just finished the thing. I felt bad because it was obvious I put more effort into the beginning than in the rest. But I do have a real full-time job, so I sacrificed a few of my weekends for this. She was livid and told me to redo the last part. I agreed to redo the point she wanted. This happened a few more times. Then I asked her to go in Discord for me so she can tell me what was wrong. She declined since she doesn't know anything about this stuff. At this point, my boyfriend got to know about all of this and told me to cut it off. Disgusted. And in the end, I told her I wouldn't do any more work for her, and if she wants something done, she should hire someone professional. She called me crying and told me I need to finish this. It's the most important thing in her life. I was done with this at this point and hung up. I went to my computer and deleted all versions of the video I had at Dropbox and at my desk since I was just so angry. Well, turned out she didn't save any of the video, only the raw cut from the beginning. She tried to reach me through my friend and I said I deleted it and my phone blew up. Messages from Instagram came in insulting me and they even reported my edit account. It's still there luckily, but I was checked from Instagram. I later heard the company wasn't interested in her. My boyfriend said I shouldn't feel bad. My friend said she was crappy, but I shouldn't have deleted everything. And the other said I own her because I agreed to do it and that I'm the worst. I do realize that I shouldn't have deleted the videos, but I kinda don't feel 100% like a butthole, since she didn't save anything, only maybe 80%. So, am I the butthole? Well, you're definitely not. Don't let friends take advantage of you like that. A real friend realizes that the work is difficult and time consuming. And even when they couldn't pay, they would try to make up for it down the road to return the favor. And in this particular story, she's not your friend. Our third story of the day is also a family drama. Am I the butthole for not wanting to take over my partner's parents' mortgage? Posted by StunningFix9516. So my partner and I have been together for about 2 years. We were best friends for 3 years before that. So we were extremely serious and close. I love his family and they love me. His dad is constantly trying to plan our wedding. We're constantly together, but due to financial issues, we haven't been able to move in together. This coming summer, we decided we were going to get our place. At first, we were looking at apartments, but he asked me if we should buy something instead. I was delighted to hear his suggestion. I've always wanted to be a homeowner. We ended up finding these homes currently being built that would be within our price range. It's in a great area, a brand new build. Everything was honestly perfect. I was so happy thinking about decorating our future house and being able to have family over for events at our very own home. So the kicker is, his parents decided to take out a second mortgage on their home to build a vacation home to live in half the year since they're retiring. They told my partner that they wanted us to take over the mortgage and take care of the home for them. My partner wants to make his parents happy, and they begged him to do this for them. Now, I want to know, am I the jerk for not wanting to take over the mortgage? I was so excited about the idea of us buying our own home and making it our own. His parents' house is nice, but it's in the bad part of town, and I feel like we would never be able to make it ours as they plan on living with us for half the year. This part is also upsetting as I haven't lived with my parents since I was 18. I don't want to feel like I'm walking on eggshells in my own home by having them live with us half the year. Being told by my partner that he didn't want to buy a home together anymore was honestly really heartbreaking for me. I've been feeling so bummed about it. I guess what upsets me is that no one told his parents to take out a second mortgage on their home. Their home was completely paid off beforehand, so if anything, the entire family was telling them not to take out the loan. Anytime I try to talk to the people in my life about this, they make me feel like a selfish jerk for not wanting to take over his parents' mortgage. It honestly would end up being just as expensive as buying our own home, except this wouldn't be our home. The house is also old, so stuff is always breaking and needing repairment to come over. I wanted a brand new slate for us to start our own lives together, but now I'm worried we're never going to be able to do that. It's just really frustrating because I feel like they should just sell their home, but they refuse. I just feel like all my decisions are being made for me right now, and I had a plan in my head that's being taken from me. My verdict is, drumroll please, not a butthole. And hopefully, this won't sound harsh, but do not, under any circumstances, take over that mortgage. Do not do it. No way. That brings us to the finally family feud of the day. Am I the butthole for taking away something I bought and that my mother in law is using also from the living room and using it now only by myself? By u/MXLT. Many issues are going between me and my mother in law, so our relationship is very tense. For some reason, she's never been capable of telling me anything, and also there are many problems in our relationship. But no matter what, I try to be as correct as possible and nice as long as we have to live together. Last year, I bought a dehumidifier. The reason I bought one was because I heard that it was good for allergies. Where I live is very humid and that creates a good environment for the mites to develop. So I got this machine. But then I realized that it helped me dry the clothes very fast. In winter, our clothes usually take 3 days or so to dry, and sometimes they smell wet because it took them too long to dry. So I start putting this dehumidifier in a shared room where we all hang clothes and stuff. My mother-in-law soon realized the benefits of this and started using it by herself. It was fine by me, I mean, she did not tell me, but my significant other probably told her she could use it. Anyways, she started using it but never really cleaned it. Also never followed the instruction. For example, she would open the doors and window and leave the machine functioning. I explained to her how the machine worked. Still, she did not always do what she had to do. I just let things go, but then a few days, I realized that whenever I washed the clothes and hang them, the machine would be off the next day, and the water was not even half full, which meant it was probably turned off the evening before. I asked my significant other about this and he knew nothing about it. After a few times, I realized that probably she was turning it off. Why? I'm not sure why, but whenever she hangs clothes, it is on, so I took my hanger, took my machine and used it in my room. This machine would benefit her because she washes her uniforms very often, but I feel like I don't care. But I also feel that I'm being rude. I know this is something really stupid, but there are many things and details in the past that are annoying. For example, she also has stuff that at first was supposed to be shared, but then she hid it in her room and does not even use it. Or she would spend money buying things she does not need, but things that she does need, she just would not think of buying them. Am I the butthole for being selfish and stupid about this? Please don't be rude. I just want opinion if I'm already blinded by the anger towards her. Update. I'm updating this because many ask me why I'm not talking to her about this. The reason I don't confront her much is that once she was overspending on the phone bill without realizing she was overspending. And it is her son that pays for her phone bills. She does not pay her phone bills because his son paid it for her for a few years. Now, even though she can, she won't. But my significant other cares enough to let that go. That time she was overspending. I told her nicely that she was overspending and that it was better to call using the Wi-Fi from home instead of using the phone itself. She told my significant other and cried about it, saying that I made her feel horrible and that she would pay the difference. I was not even rude. I was just telling her about something she probably did not know. So to avoid her crying about it, I just don't confront her much. Although it might be a little awkward to treat your future mother-in-law like that, you're not a butthole. If you ask me, she can get and ruin one of her own. That would be the end of our stories today. Thank you for listening and good day everyone.